WAP News.
Hello, this is Janet Black and this is WAP News. Today we have a very exciting story to share with you. It's about a special lady who claims to have traveled through the time into the era of the French and Haitian revolutions. With me here today is Betty Roy Jenkins. Wow! That sure is some fancy equipment you got there. I'd just like to say hey to Mama, Papa, Billy Joe, Billy Bob, Eunice, and Prince Sunshine. I love you all. Well, I'd like to hear the story from the very beginning. How did you come across a time machine? Well, it all started when my cousin Rico purchased a time machine from the internet. Where can you buy a time machine on the internet? Well, anyways, after the time travel, I landed somewhere in an open field in France. And I knew it was in France because all the French people were saying oui, oui. And I know not all of them had to go to the bathroom. The next thing you know, a woman in a strange white dress comes running towards me from across the field.
Harry, our mob is coming. You must come quick.
I was confused, but I knew that following that strange woman was going to be the right thing to do. And in no time, we arrived at a gigantic building. It was her palace, right? Was it amazing? Oh, for sure. Well, anyways, she told me she had to go to her room to get something. So I went outside for her. And what do you know? That huge mob she was talking about approached me and asked where Marie Antoinette was. So I told them she went up to her room. And suddenly, all I could hear were screams and yelling. So that must have been when she died. Well, not quite. You see, I found out later from my good old friend Robespierre that him and the mob eventually used a guillotine to chop her head off. You know, like, chop! A man from the mob approached me. His name was Robespierre.
Victory is ours! We have killed the queen and overthrown the monarchy. They can't tax us as much as we may eat our share of bread.
So me and Robes became real good friends, you know. We went on many adventures together, and well, what do you know? I became one of the revolutionaries fighting for freedom. Well, thanks for coming out to see us, Eunice. This was sure an interesting story. You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Okay, the door's that way. Oh, thanks. Joining me now is Marie Antoinette from the French Revolution. We obtained Eunice's time machine and used it to bring her back from the dead.
Well, hello.
So, what are your thoughts about the revolution? I mean, it must have been crazy.
Well, I didn't enjoy the part where I got my head chopped off. Those peasants sure got unruly. It's not my fault I wanted to live a wealthy lifestyle. I just didn't care about them. It all began around the year 1789, when peasants became unhappy about unfair taxation. 1793 was my death, along with many other nobles. After my death, Christianity was banned and executions became a daily occurrence. A new government was established, and Napoleon rose to power many years later.
Thanks for stopping by, Marie.
Thank you for having me.
Please welcome to the show, Hugo Chavez. We also used the time machine to bring him back from the Haitian Revolution. Now, Hugo, you were a slave during that time period, right? How do you think your revolution was different from the French Revolution?
Hey, Janet. So, I believe that the major differences in most of the African slaves who achieved freedom from the revolution moved to the countryside to construct homes and make a comfortable living. On the other hand, the French victors turned their heads to conquest and strived to take over the world under the brilliant General Bonaparte.
So, Hugo, what were the similarities?
The similarities were that both revolutions had similar roots with unfair social inequalities and unfair taxation.
Wow, that sure is exciting. Thanks for coming, Hugo.
And thanks for having me.
And that's it for WAP News today.
Inequality, the relics of feudalism, revolution in France, over 3 states and sugar.